Hi, everyone. This is episode 38. I was prepared to know what the number was this time. I know it doesn't matter anymore because, like Jamie said last week, the numbers don't matter, which is true. So to your left, we have Dan. How are you?
Good morning. Here in my Batman.
Oh my God!
Week.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I just noticed the shirt. I'm glad you followed through on that. Very good. Jamie, how are you on the other side?
Good. Half a bottle of red wine Friday night, chilling.
Shit, yeah.
I'm even.
That's fun, good. Jamie.
Even pegged, huh?
This is fun, Jamie.
Sorry.
Fun, Jamie.
Fun me. Yeah, less cranky me than like last week.
Enjoy the wine because China have put a tariff in place in Australia apparently for wine coming forward. So it's all about that wartime strategy. But speaking about wartime strategies, how about those console wars? Hey, yeah, everybody can stop because Phil Spencer's dropped his knowledge on the topic himself, and the world was at peace. Not even. We can touch on that later, but I love that Phil just comes out. He's like, "Yeah, it's all crap. This tribalism and stuff. It's really, really crap." I will say before we get rolling into it, when he puts something on the internet like that, when he says something, when he speaks his mind, everybody runs with it. And it's like, well, this is different. Every time it's different. Like, you don't see it happening from anybody else. I'm just saying that with my Xbox hat on. Today, this is, as you haven't already told, this is a very chilled and relaxed and not even like half structured episode because there's not much really to talk about. So, I guess we'll just start with the fluffy times to roll with what we've been playing. Apparently, there've been some massive Black Friday sales happening. I took full advantage. And boys, besides what you've been playing, can you detail if you did pick up any other games on sales? Dan, I'll start with you.
I haven't yet, but based on what I have been playing this week, I think I will. On the fact that I've been playing Madden. I'm really excited to get the next gen update, which I think is like on the 3rd or the 4th or something of December. But I was playing Battlefront 2 again because I took it off the console last week so I could put on The Last of Us Part 2 to show a mate that came over. So we're playing that for a little bit, and then I just downloaded it again. So just got through another like 2 levels of that story. And once again, got to fly more ships, which I love doing. I love flight sim stuff. Like I used to play like Tom Clancy's Hawks back in the day, and
oh wow.
And the more I'm playing this game, although it's not the greatest game, it is making me just think, I'm just going to go get Squadrons. Like I'm absolutely going to just go get that. So I'll probably do that this weekend. I'll purchase it, finish this Battlefront 2, get it off the console, and then Squadrons. I'm very excited.
Hell yeah, boy. Jamie, how about yourself?
I've played quite a bit of video games this week. First video game being FIFA. I've played a good bit of FIFA. Playing with mates and stuff now, like back on the same platform. That's good fun. Just to have a few games of an evening. Dan, I'm sure that's the same thing you do with your brother, like with your sports games. It's nice to play with someone else and not just randomers on the internet. I played the first, I'd say, hour and a half of Miles Morales. Quickly got into a mood of like, this is great, but I'm not in the mood for it. I also played the first hour of Ghost of Tsushima. That's the one Black Friday deal that I picked up on PlayStation. And the other Black Friday deal I got was on Xbox. I picked up the Ultimate Edition upgrade for Mortal Kombat, so I got the new story. They just know how to do story. I'm completely with you with the whole like fighting games need to take a cue from Mortal Kombat because the stories are genuinely fun to play through. Like they're all memorable experiences in and of themselves, and this one's no different. I remember playing MK10. Dan, you and I played through that in an entire weekend when you were in Sydney.
We did.
We beat the whole thing in like a weekend. It's just one of those types of games. I remember MK11, like before my kid was born, like those late nights, like waiting up, like, oh, is it going to be tonight? Like I finished that story in like 2 evenings, and then this one, I managed to do it in one night, I think, or maybe 2 nights. Really cool. Interested to see where they go with it. I have a feeling that Mortal Kombat's going to go away for a while. not a terrible thing. Let's have another Injustice game out of him, but that was good fun. I then got into a weird obsession with Demon Tilt pinball on Game Pass, where it's one of those games where, you know, like a pinball game, you get a new high score, and as you start to learn the table and the mechanics and what you need to hit to start bumping your score up, and it's like just one more game, and then I'm sat there going, well, I want to play something else. Maybe I'll play an hour of Spider-Man, but I'll just have a few games of pinball first, and then 3 hours pass and I go, fuck, it's bedtime. So that's been my week with video games. I've had a much more positive experience this week. I think I've stopped thinking about next gen and these new machines. I'm just enjoying them for what they are. And then next up will be Cyberpunk. I've got the pre-download ready for that, so counting down days till that's with us. But yeah, video games. What about you, Mr. Chomp?
Nice. Oh, look, I played a bit of Skyrim off and on this week. You know, that game no one's ever heard about and has only just come out. That's a joke. Yeah. Oh, I've been just mucking around with mods in that game and playing it in my remote play with my Kishi and just chilling out. It's a good game, man. Like, yeah, you've done it all, whatever, but it's just cool just to chill and walk around this beautiful world with these all these mods on and just do a quest and tune out or just find random stuff. I don't need to explain what Skyrim is, but it's just good to kind of hit back into it. But besides that, I haven't really played a lot because I've had other priorities. I'm talking a mile a minute this morning because I'm just like, I'm on high gun mode at the moment because I haven't quite come down from the gym this morning and the pre-workout and post-workout stuff shakes and that. So I'm apologize if I'm like blah, 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 blah. But this is how it is. But otherwise, I haven't been playing much else because at the end of the day, I end up just going to bed like an old man at 8:30 because I get up so early in the morning. And yeah, so that's that. That's where my game is going. I'm disappointed because I took full advantage of the Black Friday sales. Like I picked up Squadron, Star Wars Squadrons. I picked that up for like, what was it, $30 or something? I almost didn't, but I'm like $30. Yeah, I'm not going to pay $60 for this thing. And it's got like free DLC and stuff coming out for it. So I'll be keen to hit that up eventually. What was the other stuff I picked up? Oh, like Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I've always wanted to play. That was like $15. You know, Skyrim, which I was talking about, that was $19. Because the Black Sale Fridays have been going on. Black Sale. That's Assassin's Creed or something, isn't it? Black Flag. The Black Friday sales, yeah, they've been going on for a while. And just other stuff to replace my physical stuff that I've traded in. Like all the Batman Arkham remasters. Like they're all on sale, and I want to be able to have those just on my one console without pulling out my 360. Injustice 2, I've got it on my shelf, but I want the quick resume option. You know, that's another reason why these digital sales are like so appealing, because quick resume is here now. So I don't have to worry about swapping out my discs if I want to have a couple of games on the go, like jump into Injustice 2 and back in the Skyrim or something, you know? So while they're all on sale and cheap as, I'll just, you know, take the effort out of swapping discs for a price. That sounds so bad when I say it like that, but fuck it, I don't give a shit. Speaking about something we should give a shit about, today, the PS5 scalping situation, holy crap. Like, obviously I'm an Xbox guy, as you can tell by the dimming lights behind me because I need to replace the batteries and this hat. But I will stand for injustices around the world, like people not getting their PS5s. Dan, I'm glad you got yours, and Jamie, I'm glad you got yours, but there are kids this year that aren't going to get theirs. Normal kids that were looking forward to it. You know, frontline defenders that aren't going to get theirs. You know, there's something they've been looking forward to all year as a bit of relief. They're not going to get theirs because some assholes in some elite group online decide to buy like 3,500 in UK alone and just stash them somewhere to sell to the highest bidder. I am angry, you know, for everybody else. You know, I don't like to get pissed off on behalf of other people, but this is something else because, you know, gaming is an escape for everybody, particularly this year. I hope they get their comeuppance, man. Like, you know, capitalism is one thing and, you know, playing the free market, whatever. But this year, if anything should have come out of it, is to really give people a sense of like what is just and like what is right, and to care for people and, you know, let people find some escape from the shit that's been going on. You know, we all need it. And these people are like hoarding thousands of these consoles. And it's funny, like PlayStation, like, yeah, it's the best-selling console launch we've ever had. But it's like, well, there's a lot of your stock that's held up by bots and, you know, in storage somewhere that have been acquired by bots in, you know, elite groups that are preying on the online services and stuff. It's so frustrating to me, man. And I don't know if you've looked into it, but I went to their Facebook group. I saw a link on Twitter of like, this is where these guys are, and this is the group name, and blah blah blah. And you follow the chain, and it takes you to the Facebook page, and they put up a post of like basically saying, trying to spin it of like, yeah, you know, we're not doing anything illegal, and you know, people, we acquired these so other people can get them, you know, blah blah blah. We're doing a service, trying to like really spin it in a positive way. You know, there are some kids now that can get them, even though some others can't. We have no regrets. I'm like, oh, you asshole, you son of a bitch. Oh man, the only like shining light on it was one of the groups. I don't think it was one in the UK, but I saw a chain of messages in a group. Someone found out and doxed one of the groups that have been hoarding all these people, and they found out where they stored them and robbed them so they can you know, take them back. So I'm glad about that. That's a bit of comeuppance. I just hope the people that rob them actually put them where they're meant to be, you know, give them out or donate them or something. I don't know. I just, that's my bit of a rant on it. It does frustrate me. I don't know if you guys have read much into it. I know it's a bit of negative news, and you know, we're trying to spin away from some of that lately, but something worth talking about given the situation we're all in. Dan, I know you're the PS5 PlayStation man. I'd like to hear your opinion on that, sir.
Well, it's crappy. Like, it's a crappy thing to do. I actually had one of my mates went because he got a PlayStation 5, and he goes, I should have got extra ones, and then I could have sold them for a profit. I'm like, no, you're a problem. You're like, that's not cool to do. And I was going to say that, you know, if anyone is going to try and sculpt these machines this year, it might be this year with people trying to get, you know, money, like extra money and stuff like that. But the people that are buying in excess of these consoles obviously have the expendable income to be able to do it. So it's just preying on people that are trying to find whatever they can to keep themselves occupied, which is really interesting with games. The fact that, like, during any type of recession or anything, games tend to not get better necessarily. This year it's been a little bit better because everyone's at home, so it's a different situation. But normally they always kind of stay steady, whereas every other industry tends to dip. So it's really interesting in terms of games. But yeah, it's a shitty thing to do, and I don't think I need to say much more on that.
100%. Jamie, you have an opinion?
I've got lots of opinions, me, but the key opinion for this one is just don't be a dick. Do you know what I mean? Like they said, you do have to think about the people that are going to miss out, you know, the people trying to get consoles for their kids, or as you said, you know, frontline workers that have been working their asses off protecting people for the best part of a year. And, you know, those people, as well as the everyday man and woman and child, they're all missing out. And it's like, it's at gain. And I get it. It is a free market. This isn't as if people are like, you know, trading people's pensions or doing something super underhanded. It's underhanded, but it's, you know, it's not serious. We are just talking about video games at the end of the day. It's just shitty. Yeah, it's a shitty thing to do. Don't be that shitty cunt. I like it when I've seen people, you know, that are like, oh, they've hedged their bets. They've ordered a few. You know, a lot of industry folk have done that, where they've got 2 or 3 and then they've sold the additional ones to friends or family who were not able to do so, and helped them out and given them at a retail price, which is, you know, that's the inverse of it. That's something nice to do. But yeah, this group that have bought up sort of 3,000 plus here in the UK, yeah, they're copping quite a lot of flack from people. I'd be interested to see how long it goes for. So for a bit more added context, they're actually a group. They do this not just for game consoles, like for, you know, like launches of trainers and apparel that's kind of, you know, limited run stuff, and they charge people to be a part of this group. So it's like you pay like a membership fee, and you make money back off them doing it. So it's like it's a Ponzi scheme, it's a pyramid scheme. So they're actually giving back by doing this, which in turn is also hurting other people. It's very weird. The same group managed to grab, I think they were boasting 400 or 500 units of the RTX 30 series earlier on in the year when they first came out. Yeah, they're just scumbags. Everybody should have free market, but then also, I know we've been through the year we've been through, but the suppliers and the manufacturers should have enough to meet reasonable demand, which it sounds like Microsoft and Sony have had more inventory than they expected, but it's still not enough to satiate the demand, which is only a good thing in the long run. Like Dan said, more people spending money on video games and on the industry means that we are going to get better games. It's just a shame that this conversation kind of has to roll around and be part of it. So yeah, don't be a scumbag.
Yeah, I just hope the official consoles get restocked properly in stores, so all these people that bought them all are just sitting on dead stock, you know? They have to sell them at a loss or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I would laugh so heartily.
But that will happen.
I take it, yeah, I hope so, man. Like, it just frustrates me particularly because I collect Transformers. That people that don't know, there's a toy line out that I just got addicted to. Never saw it coming, and it just hit me like a brick wall. I'm like, well, this is happening. And there's like special edition ones or limited actual characters that I want that aren't special in any way. They're just like standard characters in the roster, and they're exclusive to America or some shit. And you get these bots online, let people run these bots things, and they buy them all out. And you got to go on eBay and pay double or whatever. And, you know, I fucking hate it. Like, it's, you know, like you said, James, it's not just consoles. It's like everything that's a hot commodity and any kind of fandom. But anyway, we'll take it down a bit and talk about things that we're thankful for, because in America, they're celebrating a traditional thing where you eat lots and be thankful for it. I know there's a lot behind it. I'm just really summarizing it down to the basics that I care about. Man, their food, you see it on Twitter. My God. I'm just like, this hurts me because I'm like, I'm trying to lose weight here, and these people are like sharing all these amazing meals, and I'm like, oh God, I'm hungry. But yeah, so to be thankful, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, we'll talk about what games are we thankful for that we've played, not just last gen, just in general, like games that you keep going back to that you're thankful for over your entire life. I know that's quite a broad spectrum to consider, but I'm sure there's a few that can stand out for you. Dan, I'll start with you. What are those that you keep rotating on, or that you just, in your secret of secrets, do you sit there going, oh my God, I thank that you exist. I really do.
Well, it's interesting. I think we had I can't remember what episode it was. We've had so many now. There was the episode that there were the games that kind of got us really, really into gaming. And for me, like, it was EA4 and Metal Gear Solid 4. And so those were the games that really got me into gaming. But the game that made me go, like, look down, top 10 lists and whatnot, and look at it and go, why don't I try something different, was Mass Effect 2.
Nice.
So Mass Effect was never on my on my radar at all, because obviously the original came out on Xbox 360, which I didn't have at the time. So I had never really heard of it. And Mass Effect 2 eventually came to PlayStation 3, and I just kept seeing it everywhere on these lists. And I was like, what is this game? And they took it, and at that stage, they still kind of referred to it as an RPG. I was like, oh, I'm not really into RPGs or anything like that, but I'm like, oh, it's cool sci-fi stuff. I'm like, I just don't know. Anyway, so I took the plunge on that one, and now it's, I mean, I haven't ranked my favorite games of all time type thing, but it's definitely top 3. And that game opened me up to trying a whole bunch of different stuff after that. After that is when I just started trying different things. It's when I got God of War 3, even though I hadn't played the first 2, because I was like,
oh my God,
it's getting great things. Like, I might as well try it. Like, yeah, it really opened me up to just playing different stuff rather than stuff that was either really popular, so like your Call of Duties or whatnot, or just thing or sequels to things I'd already played, and probably away a little bit more from sport games. But yeah, so Mass Effect 2, very thankful for that game.
Nice. Yeah, I'd have to concur on that. My experience with that, just to touch on your note there, is I was always like I lived with a mate who was all about Mass Effect, and he played it multiple times, you know, different characters, you know. He was so into it, and the whole time I've known him when that game was out and when we lived together, he's like, man, you gotta play it. I'll buy it for you, you know, just fucking play it. It's really good. I was like, nah, I'm good, you know, like it just seemed too much to me for me. I didn't really know much about it. Anyway, I eventually bought Mass Effect 1. It was on sale. And I played through it and I got it. I was like, all right, this is janky as hell, but I get it. So I eventually got into Mass Effect 2. And like, I think everybody has that experience in Mass Effect 2 where it's like, holy shit, yeah, this is so different from the first one. And it's really good. And yeah, I got it at that point. I was like, yes, this is great. But yeah, anyway, Jamie, over to you. Do you have anything that you're like, thank you, Lord, for existing?
I mean, you'd expect me to say Destiny, but that's a cop-out because it's something that I just fall back on throughout different parts of the year, but it's also a live service. It's evolving. I play it a lot. But I think as a series, and this is going back to being right back to 1998, 97 even. 98, yeah, it would have been 98. I've always, no matter where I've been in the world, no matter what age I've been, no matter what console I've played on, I've always had access to a FIFA. And whilst I'm not thankful for EA, they're a bunch of like money-hounding scumbags. They'd like rob dying children if they could. They do. I'm thankful for the franchise, the game, as an extension of the sport to kind of let you live out that fantasy. As a kid, I played a lot of football, so you know there were periods where it's maybe, you know, you're injured or you can't play or the weather's terrible, so you can't really train or go out in the backyard and kick a ball around. Like just being able to go and sit and live in that world and that dream and that fantasy is kind of carried forward with me, you know, right the way through to now. Like I still do it now. I put hundreds of hours into it most years. Couple, you know, every now and then I'll fall off, but it's comfort food. Do you know what I mean? So in keeping with Thanksgiving, which is full of comfort food over in America, we don't give a fuck about it here. It's just Black Friday,
Beautiful day.
which we also took from the Americans. But yeah, I'm thankful for it. Thankful for it as a franchise.
Nice. I think I have to go back to my tried and true Gears, man. Gears of War. Holy crap. Like, I always go back to it. It's just, man, the first time I saw the previews for that game on the 360 before launch and they had like a gameplay demo, I was like, what is this? You know, I was glued at the time. I still had a CRT like TV, you know, big 81-inch thing, and watching these videos that were on Xbox Live, and or I had like a USB stick and I had videos downloaded on there so I could watch it through my console on the TV. You know, God, that's, you know, what simpler times they were. And yeah, just going, I need to play this. This looks insane. And the first time I played it, you know, John DiMaggio's Marcus Phoenix is just iconic as hell. Like I just can't look at Marcus Phoenix and think of it any other way. Even when like playing Gears 5 now with Batista, it's just not the same. Yeah, he does his best and it's not bad, but when you go back to the legit markets, it's like, yeah, fuck off, like don't even try. But the first time you play that game and you chainsaw like a locust, it's just drugs. Like put them in me. It's just, yes, I want this all the time. And I just think so favorably of that franchise, man. Like I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Like people used to throw that game off, in that series off, as just being a basic, like a bro shooter, and that's it. Like there's nothing to it. But there's, when you actually play it and get through the story, you know, and actually pay attention, like there's a lot in there. And obviously it spawned books and comics and like other like extraneous games, like Gears Tactics. Now it's a completely different game type, and I'm really enjoying that. And just the lore of it, I love it. But in just the main three games that really hit it home for me, like there's a lot of heart in there, like about, you know, brotherhood and friendship and like being loyal to, you know, your family and family, like whatever that means to you, and doing what's right. Like Marcus himself, like you start the game and he's in jail and you don't know why until you find out in Gears 3, because he went off and tried to save his dad. It was like off mission, like he went against the Cog's orders and to go save his dad, and that put him in prison. You know, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff in there, and man, I just love it. It's just, yeah, like when Dom meets his wife or finds his wife finally, that scene still gives me a punch. And when Marcus sees Dom sacrifice himself in Gears 3, it's still like, oh my god, like I could just imagine, you know, seeing my best friend doing that, you know, or someone that I'd love doing that for me. It's like, oh, you know, I know it's like they're just big, like steroid, like pumped, massive meatheads shooting at alien grub things, but it's like, there's more to it, man. And I hope Gears is around for a long time. I do, when, like Jamie said, I hope Mortal Kombat goes away for a while. I think after Gears 6, I think they might have to just take a break from the main line for a while and figure out what to do with it. You know, because I think a lot of people have been a bit dejected from Gears 4 and 5 as far as it's just not the same. And I feel that too. As much as I love Gears 5, holy shit, it's just not the same as the first trilogy. And I could probably do with a bit of a break, maybe like try some other different game types and stuff. But I don't want Gears to go away completely. I hope it's a mainstay in my life for as long as it will be. But yeah, Gears, man. If you could see my shelf up there, you'll understand. Anyway, we'll move on to the next one because we're just staying on the fluffy train here. We were thankful for all these things, but going forward, we might have potentially more to be thankful for. So 2021, I know there's not a lot that's been confirmed given everything that's going on, but there are games that have been confirmed and told to be coming out in 2021. So I want to know, what are these games that you've been looking for? I don't really care how many that you've got on your list, but just tell me, what are the ones you're looking forward to and that you're hoping that they're good and what you're most excited for? Dan, as always, I'm going to steer it back your way to start with.
All right. I have a few here. What I'll do, I'll give you ones that have been announced and one that I think will be announced for the coming year. And then I have a whole bunch left over. To be honest, the most exciting game for 2021 is actually a game that's already been released on PC, but it just hasn't come to consoles yet.
I'll allow it.
I think they mentioned it was going to be coming this year, but it's still not here. So I don't know if it's going to be like a surprise announcement. But Disco Elysium, I'm really excited.
I didn't expect that.
I'm really excited to play that when it comes to the consoles. Just everything I heard about that game, I'm like, you know, I could sit around for a while and play that game. But the other game, speaking of last week when I played Inside, Play Dead Games. It's got to be close to when they're going to release their next game, and I think it's going to happen next year. Inside came out in 2016. Limbo was between 2010 2012. So like they spend a long time on their games. So it's coming up to 5 years since Inside. So
wow,
I have a feeling that's going to be coming, and I'll absolutely be playing that game.
100%. Yeah, Inside, man, holy crap, it's so good. I really enjoyed that experience. It's just funny how long it took for that game to come out. And you can smash it in one sitting. You know? Cool. So you're done, Dan?
Yeah, I might pitch in after you guys have spoken because I've got a few here.
Right, Jamie, go, son.
Horizon, obviously, but that is too obvious of a pick. We've spoke at length about how we did a whole video about what we want from Horizon 2. So I'm going to go with Harry Potter because that's something that we haven't done one of those for yet. But when we do get around to a next run of, you know, downloading soon, that's definitely going to be my one for that because I think I can go into quite some detail. I've got a fond history with the Harry Potter games. Weirdly, I was talking with my wife about this earlier on. It was the last game I remember using the you know, the whisper thing when it was the EA start. It's like EA games challenge everything.
Wow.
That was the last game. It was a Harry Potter game. Was the last one I remember playing that had that. But yeah, the one that was on the Wii was the last Harry Potter game that I played. You know, obviously the motion controls were doing the spells and the wand and stuff. Like it's just a throwback. I'm not that into the franchise. I always really enjoyed the games. The movies obviously are, after like the fourth, are passable films because, you know, they grew up and learned to act. No shade thrown, they were children, but they got better at acting, and the films got better, the budgets got better, the story got darker. Wicked. So I'm excited to go to that world and kind of have what I'm assuming is an RPG with kind of light loot mechanics. I'm assuming there's going to be a bit of that in there. You know, finding better wands and robes and stuff you have to think it's going to be part of it, but I don't want to go too much into the ins and outs. Just to live in that universe, yeah, and have a bit more, hopefully some light-hearted moments, because, you know, games get dreary, man. Like, there's a lot of them that are very somber and depressing, or full of war and full of guns and shooting, and like, yeah, let's just go live in the wizarding world. There's obviously going to be some threat. There has to be to move the story forward, unless like there's unicorns roaming around, which I don't think there will be. That would be my pick for what I'm most looking forward to. Yeah, and as I said, Horizon, obviously. But next year, I think it's tough to call. I'd say, is it Arkham Knights next year, isn't it? It's not the Suicide Squad game. Arkham Knights at some point.
Gotham Knights, yeah.
You have to feel that either Harry Potter or... Sorry, I keep saying Harry Potter. It's nothing to do with Harry Potter, is it? It's the Hogwarts something or other. Legacy, yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy.
You know, they're distancing themselves from J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter as well as they can. But you have to think one of those games is going to come first half of the year and the other second. And I have a feeling Batman's probably going to come out first, because they traditionally do, right, Dan? You can probably correct me there if I'm not, but they're usually first half of the year, the Batman games. Yeah,
normally around June. Arkham Knight came out in June because it was around my birthday, and I was very excited.
Yeah, and then you think maybe Hogwarts Legacy will be kind of a blockbuster for the late summer or the autumn kind of time. Speaking obviously in this side of the world seasons, opposed to yours, because they would be reversed.
Nice. Yeah,
What's your pick,
I've got about 5 games, and I don't believe 2 of them that'll be out 2021, but the sites that I looked at say TBA 2021. So I'm going to start with Everwild from Rare. Like, the last thing I heard about that game is they don't even really know what kind of game that is yet. But
there's no way that's coming out next year, mate.
Yeah, but it's got 2021 next to it, like on the sites I looked at, so I wanted to make sure before I added it to my list, and this is one that I just don't believe it. But I'm going to have it there anyway, just in case, for posterity's sake. But everything I've seen of it, like the footage that comes out, I'm like, god damn, yeah, like it just looks like a moving painting. Like, I'll have that, thank you. So, you know, I hope it's good. I really do. It's setting itself up for, you know, a bit of that, you know, I don't know what this is hype kind of thing for me. So looking forward to that. Obviously, Halo Infinite, if, you know, that does come out 2021, I think it will. I really do. I think they'll be like, all right, all our resources, we just need to do it. You know, but yeah, you already picked on one of mine, Gotham Knights. You know, as average as I felt that reveal was, and it's not what I wanted, I'm gonna be there anyway. You know, it's like one of those hypocritical things of like, oh, I didn't want this. Here, you have my money. You know, I just have to as a DC fan anyway. I kind of feel like I'm obligated in some way. But another one is Outriders. That was supposed to come out already. I don't know if it's still 2020, but I checked the dates and it's TBA 2021. So Outriders was that one that you showed me, Jamie, where it's like, yeah, this looks like Destiny and Gears of War, should be right up your alley. I was like, yeah, looks pretty cool. And finally, Scorn. I'm going to give that a go because my barrier of entry is so low because it's on Game Pass. And I'm a sook and a wuss. I don't like scary games. I don't like to be creeped out when I'm playing games, particularly because I play games in the dark now, and I'm 35, and I don't like to be scared, and I live alone. And help me. The last thing I need to do is get killed in a HR Geiger level, you know, world. Nightmare fuel. Like, I watched the last gameplay demo that they put out. I'm like, holy crap, the atmosphere has me on edge already, you know? But look, I relate it to Outlast. Have you guys played Outlast?
Yes, the first one.
I didn't play that.
Yeah, the first one? Yeah, so I bought that. I got it for free when it came to Xbox, and look, I played about the first 20 minutes of it, and I couldn't. I got down to some basement that's like full of water, and it's dark, and you got to like turn these generators on, and there's something after you. Yeah, and I was like, I'm good. Like, it killed me. I'm like, nah, I'm out. Cool, uninstall. I just, and then I went back to like Rise or something, or Forza. Like, yeah, bright colors, yay. So yeah, but Scorn, it just looks insane, and it looks so artistically unique. Obviously it is taken light from our previous artist's work, but goddamn, I haven't seen that done before, and I want to see it. So hopefully by then I'll have my new TV when all this shit comes out, and it'll look stunning. So yeah, those are my 5 that came to mind. Danny, I think you mentioned you wanted to go back to you for a couple others, or are you good?
Yeah, just a couple of shout outs. So Ratchet and Clank's obviously another one. Kena Bridge of Spirits, which was from that PlayStation showcase with the girl and the staff and the magical world. That looks cool.
Oh yeah.
Mass Effect Legacy Edition, I'm absolutely getting that. Returnal, I'm interested to see what Housemarque do, going from twin stick shooters to big first person shooter game or third person shooter game.
Yeah,
Jamie, this one's for you as well. Wolf Among Us 2.
Is that next year?
Very curious to see. Yeah, so very curious
that is for
to
me.
see what that's going to be. And then the other game that has not been actually announced, but I assume is coming, is Wolfenstein 3. I believe will come next year. It's been a few years since the Wolfenstein games, and of any Bethesda type owned game, Wolfenstein has always been the most appealing to me of any of them. So, and possibly a Star Wars game, because there might be a Star Wars game. Who knows? EA are running out of their contract.
They've been very
years,
quiet, haven't they, with the not sports games.
Battlefront 2 was 3 years ago at this point. So yeah, who knows what they're doing.
Something that we didn't mention actually, and it's more out of reluctance because I don't think it'll hit next year. But Breath of the Wild 2 should be next year.
Got
a reason to buy another
well.
Nintendo Switch. For fuck's sake! There better be a Pro variant. There better be some kind of 4K variant.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that game. I must admit, I've played my Switch that I got recently for All Stars. Fuck all. It's just there. I put on Ring Fit now and then for a bit, but I'm usually fucked by the morning after the gym session anyway. So my Switch is just sitting there. But oh yeah, you reminded me, Jamie, that Mario game, Mario 3D World's coming out in January, February or something. I can't wait to play that. I should have put that on my list. Yeah, look, man, there's so much to look forward to, man. I didn't really think about it until we were talking about, man, what are we going to talk about for this one? And last night I went digging around. I'm like, well, what the hell's coming out next year? I was like, damn, there's actually quite a bit, considering
more than you
all the other games. Sorry, what?
There's more than you realise. I think there's been a few times when I've got, it's going to be ages till we've got anything decent to play, but they might be cross-gen games, but there's still a good slate of stuff to come next year, for sure.
Yeah, because the three of us are super lucky and we have the next-gen consoles already, and we're just like, yeah, life is great.
Oh, I also forgot to say to you earlier as well, when we were talking about what we've been playing, I finished the Destiny campaign.
Oh, nice.
I finally got around to that. I was like, surely this can't be that long. And I just burned to the end of the campaign. I was like, and then turned it off. I was like,
that's the experience you want.
No, it wasn't really the experience. What they've done in terms of moving their world forward and moving the story forward is really good. But I think it's one of those things that and I know I go through this phase every year. You guys obviously know that because we talk a lot. But for the benefit of the fact we've not been doing this podcast since the last expansion came out, like I hit really dry spells with Destiny where it's just like, I'm just not feeling this. I've got other shit I want to play. But I went on. I kind of leveled up, did the story stuff, but in terms of like the end game kind of loop, repetitive grind, get better gear, get higher gear scores and stuff, like I've no time for it at the moment. But I will play through the rest of it with you, Chunt, when that update comes to Xbox. Purposefully saved.
I was just gonna say, I went back and tried that boss again that I mentioned last time. And I was
get
like,
fucked
nah.
again.
Yeah, like, fuck, no, I'm good. I'll wait for Jamie to walk me through.
Yeah, I've saved my hunter to run through all the story stuff again. So we'll do that together when the shiny new update comes up.
Hell yeah, cool. Oh, well, that's good. So yeah, we've got shitloads to look forward to and be thankful for in the spirit of the season. But yeah, I think that's it. It's all fluffy talk, man. It's good shit instead of being serious about news crap that's going on. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up if that's all right with you lads. I'm done.
Is.
Yeah. Because I've got some chilling out to do and I don't care and I'm going to do nothing. So yeah. Oh, my name's Uncle Chunt. If you didn't realise, I didn't even say that at the top of the show. So if you stayed around long enough, that's who I am. You got Dan over there and you got Jamie there. Tune in next week for episode 39. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? And toodaloos.
Yeah. Bye.
See you later. And wash them hands.
Yeah.